Welcome back to another TinkerJoe broadcast, and here we have CheckPrime versus OgsTheWind, two incredibly talented Korean Zerg players, and I finally got some sleep last night after staying up all night doing that paper the night before, so hopefully my casting abilities will be a little bit more on par. And BattleNet is down right now because patch 1.1 is being patched through onto all the servers. So that's really exciting today. However, this matchup right here, as far as we know, is not going to be changing very much, if at all. There were the rumored Team Liquid. Let me throw up the production tab for you guys. There were the rumored Team Liquid posts about some crazy unheard of changes, like Mules getting a 40-second cooldown, Overlords getting double speed as stock, Chrono Boost getting a cooldown, lots of Overlords being able to excrete creep while they move, getting a huge speed buff with the speed upgrade. So lots of crazy stuff was rumored, but as far as we know, Zerg vs. Zerg is not going to change. And we do have a very early pool for OgsTheWind here, so we will see how this game plays out. This could be carnage for CheckPrime here, who got the 13 extractor, 14 pool, probably 13 pool actually. So pretty standard coming from Check here. And the Zerglings are on their way, and this Overlord will be catching sight of that. We do have a spine crawler coming down for this drone with OgsTheWind, coming in for this Zergling rush. Another drone coming along, maybe to seal the victory here. Zerglings coming up the ramp. Oh boy, and the spawning pool's about to pop for CheckPrime. Maybe he just needs to pull off, spawn a couple Zerglings, deal with this, but he is pulling every drone off the line to deal with all these Zerglings. Let's look at the Harvester. Oh my god. OgsTheWind has like no Harvesters here, so if this rush fails, that will be so freaking bad for him. Spine Crawler is down now, continuing to pull the drones off the line, trying to deal with this Spine Crawler. Oh boy, and it is targeted to deal with certain units here. Should be poking away at Zerglings more than drones, I would have to say, because we do have more Zerglings coming on the way for OgsTheWind, getting these miners back on here. Let's look at the Harvesters. It is dead even now. We have 7 and 7. So completely even. A little bit more Zerglings for OgsTheWind, though. More Zerglings popping for CheckPrime here. So this battle will be evened out fairly shortly. Pulling these drones. Oh, and getting a surround on these Zerglings. He needs to use these minerals actually to surround on them. And if you don't know about the trick, you take, exactly, watch what CheckPrime is doing here. You take these drones, you put them on minerals, they'll clump up, they'll go into a hovering state, and then you can move them back out with an attack command right after you have them on the minerals, and they'll get a great surround on units. It's nice for keeping your drones alive and dealing lots of damage and getting a surround. Okay, so looks like we're finally getting a gas coming down for OgsTheWind and a Queen, pulling all the drones off the line to deal with this. And once this Queen comes down, CheckPrime will not be in a position where he can be the aggressor anymore until he himself gets a Queen. And he is just droning up for the time being. He has some idle gas, and whoever throws down a Baneling's nest here is going to also have the advantage for a moment, because as we all know, Banelings just melt Zerglings. So 5 Zerglings here for CheckPrime, and he will be able to deal with these yellow Zerglings from OgsTheWind. Continuing to just drone up. A Queen coming down for CheckPrime. And where'd that Queen go? Oh boy, the Queen is in the middle of the map. I'm not sure if that was a misclick or if he was going for a super aggressive push here, but now she's going to walk her slow ass up this ramp back onto the base and start spawning some larvae. We do have a metabolic boost coming down for OgsTheWind, and a Baneling's Nest coming down for CheckPrime. So this will be very interesting to see. Both of these will offer an advantage to both players. Speedlings will be able to move around these Banelings, deal damage, get out. Banelings will be able to do intense amounts of damage to any Zerglings caught off guard rather, and any workers that are undefended for OgsTheWind. So man, this is gonna be a tense game. We got metabolic boost coming down for CheckPrime's Zerglings as well. He has way more Zerglings. Let's look at the harvester count. A couple more workers for OgsTheWind. Moving in an aggressive position here. He is getting one Baneling for maybe defensive purposes. Maybe he will roll it in over here. It is hard to say. Baneling Nest is down for OgsTheWind as well. So pretty much dead even. The harvester count is now in favor of CheckPrime. Overlord in a great place right here because he's able to see Banelings morphing in this entire area, so he can move in, aggress them with his Speedlings. Oh, and how much damage is this Baneling gonna do? Oh, it's tough to say. No damage. I think that was a bit of a miss micro there, dealing damage to the Queen. Not a whole lot damage either. And lots of Banelings coming in for OgsTheWind. Oh man, and Check is using his Banelings pretty well here. It looks like he's actually using them in a defensive position. He needs to pull these workers off the line right now, or this could be really bad for him. Moving them around on the creep. He's got, oh, and how many workers is he going to lose? It looks like 4 workers down for CheckPrime. If we look at the harvester count, it is in favor of OgsTheWind now. Was there any damage dealt with CheckPrime's Banelings? It's so hard to see. There's so much action going on across the map. It looks like no damage was dealt, and he has a defensive spine crawler in position now, moving out with some Banelings and Zerglings. 2 Queens blocking the ramp, so no further Baneling damage can be done. Excellent, excellent, excellent move from CheckPrime. There's a lot to learn from this player. Just look at these plays both these players are doing here. Banelings moving out for both players. Oh man, here we go. And CheckPrime is guarded rather well from these Banelings, and it's kind of a standstill at the moment. Just Banelings for both players kind of dancing around. And looks like we do have a layer coming down for CheckPrime before OgsTheWind has gotten his layer. Second gas going down for OgsTheWind, and second gas going down for CheckPrime. We should see a layer coming from OgsTheWind pretty soon, or he might get devastatingly behind in the attack game. Lots of Banelings spread out across the space. Notice the positioning of these. It's so important. Any Zergling that moves through here, any Baneling that moves through here is going to have to pass through all these Banelings in this defensive posture, through these Queens, through the Spine Crawler. I don't think the game is going to be a Baneling Zergling game anymore. It's all about tech. Maybe we will see some roaches. Let's look at the harvester count here. It is still in favor of OgsTheWind, and yeah, I think we're going to see a Muta battle perhaps. Or in these closer positions, I think Hydralisks are a very, very, very strong unit in these closer positions. If you can get a good creep spread, get down an expansion, Roach Hydra will be very effective, although Banelings do counter the Roaches very hard if used properly. So we are seeing a Spire go down for CheckPrime, and Lair is still morphing in. We're about to see what this drone's going to do. It looks like a Spire for both players. CheckPrime is in the advantage right now because his Spire is